Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to game number 2 here in the European Pro League. My name, hi-rez Bart. That is hi-rez D Drybear. And welcome to game number 2. It's Mortality Esports. This time, the return of Sio. Can they do it again?
Well, they're going to coast this time around, and my mic, hey, I'm alive! Thanks, production. You guys are excellent. So we're going to be coming out here, and it's going to be Mortality versus Coast. Coast has been getting a lot of praise. I mean, they've been playing incredibly well, but so has Mortality. So we're waiting to see what they can do this time around.
I want to praise these teams. I want to praise these teams because we were already in the picking and banning phase almost immediately upon opening up the show. So let's go ahead and head on in there. Guys, come on down.
That anti-Shing factor.
Yeah, no Shing involved in this game. We are right in. Hopefully we don't have any remakes for you guys. It is Mortality versus the boys of Coast. Blue, now Coast. Once blue, now just regular.
Well, that's going to be it. So now they're bringing it right into this match. Ram is going to be banned out right away. And across the way, let's go ahead and say hello to Sio by removing his character.
Yeah, no Zhanghui. We've had enough of that. Although he did play fairly well on the Mercury, doing a nice job there. This should be a really great game where we have some very interesting matchups here. Notably, the Ninja Boat here. All aboard the Ninja Boat.
The Ninja Boat. We also you got to give credit to Variety and Cornio as well. Cornio playing incredibly well so far. In fact, the highest on the team and nearly the highest in the entire SPL is Cornio at 8.5 KDA. Incredible stat to see there. So he's playing incredibly well himself. Across the way, Habbo's going to be banned away from Mortality, and then of course, New Watt will go for Coast. That leaves a lot of things available. Leaves Mercury available. Leaves Loki available. Leaves Aphrodite available. We know Variety likes Aphrodite. I think he's going to pick it, actually.
I would assume that they will go ahead and snatch up that Aphrodite. It's just pretty effective against the Merc if you have your target kind of locked in.
He's so good at Aphro.
Ult away, and you have Variety, such a known Aphrodite player, and there it is locked in. They're also going to pick up a Cirquette.
We finally see one.
Very, I would say, polarizing kind of pick so far. It's either been super high priority pick or banned out or just ignored altogether by teams. And this has been across North America and Europe. Well,
I think the biggest thing about Cirquette, and that's why you see so much polarization, is that Cirquette is very much, do you know how to play her? You can't just jump on and play Cirquette willy-nilly. Right. She's not that kind of character. You have to understand every single thing about Cirquette, all of her animations, her ranges, how she does, her HP pool, everything. I mean, you have to know that, or you can't play Cirquette at all. Kind of the same thing for Giannis. You can't pick up Giannis and randomly play him. And so teams that play him well, Ninja Bobat actually likes Cirquette a lot. They're going to lock him in and see how it goes.
Speaking of random Giannis, there he is, picked up and locked in on the side of Mortality. They're going to take Artemis as well as their Hunter, so they have the late game secured, the top damaging Mage, the two hardest physical carries in the game as well, and Mercury and Artemis. If this game goes past 25 minutes, Team Coast is going to be in some trouble. But they do have Cirquette to their name, which should be pretty decent at doing kind of shutdown style of gameplay against this Mercury and Giannis. The dots can be very effective against those wily characters, and they're going to go ahead and finalize their first 3 picks with an Apollo to try and recoup some of the damage and scaling that they're missing out on against Mortality.
No support pickups here from either team just yet. Imagine Geb at least will be banned here in this next phase, although you are going to be going up against a Frezzy. So I imagine they would be going for a little more deeper into the support pool. There's the Amir band away saying, hello, Frezzy, we know what you do. And across the way...
I love Frezzy's Amir.
Oh, man.
Play.
It's so good.
Second game we've seen Amir banned out.
But there's Cornio's Agni.
Yeah, and there you go. So a couple counter bans in the counter banning period. No big surprise there. Picking phase part 2 starting now. Geb going to be snatched up right away for Team Coast.
Raffer now selecting here for Mortality with Geb locked in. Athena's going to get locked in right after. Those 2 support players are so incredibly powerful.
Another mage here.
Yeah, well, it's going to go to Sio. I mean, Sio, no, they need a jungler, actually. Sio's going to play Mercury.
Well, they have options, I think is the point there. Mercury can jungle or be the solo lane for Sio. Giannis also potentially a solo laner, although unlikely, likely going to the mid lane here. What will they pick up? You know, they need magic damage, whatever it is, and they're going to take a look at Freya, which would indicate Freya in the jungle as their magic damager, and Mercury going to that solo lane. Granted, they could still shake it up and show us something crazy, but the expectation here is going to be you'll be seeing Freya in the jungle, and actually it looks like they're rethinking the Athena pick. They're going to pick up the large bearded man in Bacchus.
Oh, man, what a champion right there. That's going to work out a lot, especially against characters like Cirquette, who... she's not going to like having Bacchus on her. That ultimate's make so many. I mean, you have to be very precise in the way you play Cirquette, and that ultimate from Bacchus is going to disrupt everything she ever does. And so right now we're going to see last pickup for Coast is going to be Isis. Corn, you're going to be taking that one away. Definitely in the jungle, Cirquette going to go to Ninja Bobat. And we've got Variety playing Aphrodite. Now, we haven't so far in the SPL seen a team successfully shut down Aphrodite.
No, and it's rare that you do see an Aphrodite actually shut all the way out of a game. But let's go back to this Isis pick here. a lot of mids were still available here. Agni, the only god, banned out, and Giannis was picked up. So Zhang banned out as well in this game. But Ao Guang available here and not even considered, it looks like, from Coast. It was a resolute ISIS pickup. What does ISIS bring to the table here for them? I mean, I guess some more burst and some lockdown. The silence can be effective as well against Fexes, keeping him from porting away. But all things told, I mean, the Ao Guang is just so powerful, such presence.
Sure. I do like the ISIS versus Giannis matchup there, especially if Corneo is going to be on the ISIS.
Clear, yeah,
just
true.
because, well, you get the silence, you can actually, make the wave be spaced differently. By the way, you can hit it with the wing gust, stacking it up, of course, means that Unstable Vortex is not going to be able to hit both sides of it effectively. Fex is really going to have to realize how he's going to place his abilities and make it so it clears out. So I like the ISIS pick just because it's Corneo, and I think it works against Giannis. But as you go into mid and late game, we'll see how it works overall. Now, granted, you have a lot of targets that are going to be gluing to someone, right? You got Mercury, you got Freya, you got Artemis. So you put down the ISIS ultimate, it's going to stack up pretty easily, and it's a lot easier to use an ISIS ultimate if it's not a very mobile team fight.
Yeah, of course. And Coast here is going for that more sustained base. They have the Geb to give the temporary HP. The ISIS ultimate can heal. Variety, obviously a pure healer. And then Shaggy Shank and Nigga Bobat doing the damage.
Sure.
But do they have enough resiliency to take those extended team fights where their comp can shine with the dot damage?
Yes.
The Ninja Bobat, Variety, and ultimately Shaggy Shank plinking away will put out over time? Or will the more burst off Mortality, the Sio special delivery into Bacchus ultimate, Fex is there with a burst as well, Moex coming in with, well, all the damage that Artemis does with that early crit can be very bursty, and then Iraffer has, a 3 to 4 second period where he's going to put out about as much damage as you can in the game. So all around, it's going to be, I think, the team comp is in favor of Mortality, I want to say here, unless Variety just destroys Sio, in which case it should be pretty easily Coast game.
The more I look at Coast's lineup, the more I like it. Just because you look across the way, Mortality's got a Giannis, a Freya, an Artemis, and a Mercury, plus a Bacchus. All these characters are very much, I'm going to get in your face, and I'm going to burst you down, I'm going to do a lot of damage, but I'm not a very durable character myself. You look at Geb. He's got a shield, 2 stuns, the disruption. You look at ISIS. ISIS has the damage reduction. You just take 15% less damage standing inside the ultimate, plus a big burst heal and big burst damage. Then you have Aphrodite. Then across that, you're going to be able to have Apollo coming from above and Serket flanking for huge damage. I think what they're going to do here, they're going to stand on the Gold Fury and say, hey, Mortality, come at me, bro. They're going to put down the ISIS ultimate. They're going to put the Gab shield on the right person. They're going to get the heals from Aphrodite, plus the immunity from the Aphrodite ultimate. And then what do you do if you're Mercury Freya? I mean, you focus one target, they're Aphro bubbled. Focus another target, their Geb shield. Focus another target, they get healed by ISIS ultimate. Your same thing goes for, Artemis. I'm stuck on a target, I'm not a character that can move around very much, I'm just trying to stick down and do damage. Again, Aphro ultimate, ISIS ultimate, Geb shield. They've got a lot of protection here built into their kit, so Mortality really, I think the name of the game here is, can Mortality get ahead enough early?
Yeah, it's snowball game.
To get snowball hard, because the team fight very much favors Coast.
Yeah, it's a pure snowball-based game. Either Mortality's going to have the burst, or Coast will sustain through it.
Yeah.
And if they're able to, with the damage reduction that you mentioned, plus something not to count out here is Apollo's Serenade granting him all those protections as well. So the protections that he's going to get from that, plus the damage reduction from ISIS ultimate, plus a Geb shield or an Aphrodite shield to bail him out. And Shaggy Shank perfectly capable of prioritizing targets and doing tremendous amounts of damage in those team fights. And with the survivability that he can bring to the table that we've mentioned, will it be enough? Will the Giannis burst primarily be the thing carrying Mortality to victory?
Well, let's go ahead and introduce the teams here while we're getting into the match. It's going to be, of course, Mortality versus Coast. Up first is Mortality Esports. They have a long lineage of names. They're settling here on Mortality. There is the newly colored Sio, who has changed his hair, including his mustache. I like the commitment. We've got Sio in the solo lane. 4.1 KDA, one of the highest GPMs. In fact, he is the highest GPM player in all of SPL, 582. Absolutely devastating. Fexa is here in the mid lane. He's going to be playing a very strong 512 GPM. Frezzy in the support. And, of course, Moex, 15, 2, and 10. Currently the highest KDA in all of SPL, 10.0 KDA. And then a bunch of GPM, and Raffer is going to be picking that one up there. 5, 5, and 21, of course.
Their opponents are going to be Coast Gaming, wearing the red trunks this time at the top side of the minimap and the right side of your spectator UI. Here they are. Variety is your solo laner as Aphrodite. Ninja Bobat in the jungle as Serket. Corneo will be your mid laner as Isis. And that leaves, of course, Princess Tomato and Shaggy Shank as your duo lane, Geb and Apollo, respectively. And we are underway, ladies and gentlemen. with game number 2 here from Europe. This will be our final European game. Coming up after this, we move over to North America. Let's see what Coast can do here. Will this Surcat pick pay off? She has been pretty hit or miss so far, and we've seen Sayo's Mercury be very effective. And before we get too deep into the game, I do want to bring up one point here that I think it was Adonis brought up, which is looking at those gold per minutes for Mortality. Both of their games have ended at the point where they had their peak GPM.
Yes.
They won all of their games by, winning the team fight, taking several towers of Phoenix, and then the Titan, which steroids your GPM super high.
Yes, it does.
So that's a little bit bloated, and we should see those. Expect those to come down over time, but it does give you an idea of how Mortality has been winning games and reach this 2.0 mark.
We're going to see that, in the first few weeks in general. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stats here which are going to be not something you can rely on heavily just because, early, games haven't really balanced out. There's no saturation in stats overall in the players and how they're playing, what gods they're playing, and how well they're doing. And so a lot of times you're going to see the stats be more of a general idea, more so than just them actually being utilized as this is the one-all, this is what they're doing. So it's interesting to look at. Left side, Tomato taking a lot of damage here from Frezzy, hogging the back wave as well. Bunch of guys come out trying to get the stun off, not be able to do it, of course, does not have that drunk state or even tipsy realistically, so Bogus needs to get his drink on if he wants to start getting some CC.
It's already noon. How is he not tipsy
Ridiculous.
Yet? This guy, what a slacker. Solo lane. This is one of the most frustrating parts of the game if you play in the solo lane and you're up against an Aphrodite. This is where their jungler plays super aggressive against you, and there's very little you can do about it because they're continually getting healed up. But with the Surcat just being so squishy, can't really aggress too heavily, and Freya is pretty good in this opening game at the solo lane. That spread damage really starts to hurt.
We're going to see on the right side, being pushed up back to the tower because of Bobat and Variety. Those birds so powerful for clear the wave, and it's such a safe thing as well. With the long range and the ability and the slow animation on it, you're able to throw it out before the wave meets, clearing the wave effectively before you even have a chance to expose yourself to any harassment. Portal coming out of the mid lane from Fexaz. There goes the Unstable Vortex to hit all of them. Bobat looking to steal the movement speed buff. Does Fexaz realize it is the question? Looks like on the top side, Corneo is already there. This looks like it's free.
It is going to be free. Yeah, Giannis is going to come here. He's not even going to bother throwing on an Unstable Vortex. Ninja Bobat with that speed steal. It came on the back of the duo and mid lane both being pushed up with Archer advantage in favor of Coast. Recognizing it, they go ahead and go in. Ninja Bobat is ready to pounce here. Frezzy going to try to spot him out. Bobat still waiting in the shadows here, covering his face as that Surcat, crouching and waiting to stick her prey.
Grab the right side, going to find Variety here. Sayo doing tons of harassment. Grabbing up with the special delivery, and of course, getting some punches out with the Meiju look. Corneo going to start with the Lost Artifact, so going to be going for an either an early Chronos Pendant or an early rush to the Rada Tehu, depending on how he wants to play it out.
What's that ability actually called?
Which?
Meiju look.
Meiju look.
It's not actually called that, is it?
It's Meiju look.
Is it? I thought that was just what he said.
No, it's Meiju look. And he says it, and he also makes you look.
Scott, #1 naming conventions, all of hi-rez. The moves.
The moves.
Serenade.
That's it.
So beautiful has got to be his best work.
So beautiful.
It's so beautiful that it hurts you.
Exactly. He plays that music and it hurts you in the soul that you can't do it. That's the power.
If you like Smite's naming conventions for abilities, be sure to hit up hi-rez Scott on Twitter. Let him know what you think about Serenade and Made You Look and the moves.
The call out.
So beautiful.
Jesus. Put a link in chat if you want to. Jesus. Bringing it down here. Mid lane and push up towards the tower. Looks like Fex is going to miss a couple minions here as it does push up and do a little bit of damage. The right side, dude, like Surcat. One Sayo gets the shot. First blood. Coast grabbing Sayo, and that's the power of Surcat, ladies and gentlemen. It is really hard to outrange her because she moves fast.
She does move very fast. The big thing here is the change to her #3. That going from being this kind of, it takes you about a half a second to crouch down and then you are ready to jump, lady, turned into instantly jumping away, and that's really where you saw her kind of turn the corner and become this top pick in especially the European scene.
Europeans like their Surcat. So does DJ Pernicus, but we don't talk about him anymore. We got the left side, Moex, as well as Frezzy gripping up. Frezzy's still level 4. In fact, he's the only player in the game who doesn't have an ultimate currently.
Well, yes. No ultimate, because why would you need an ultimate if you're Bacchus? It's just like the best ability in the game.
Yeah, but it's wasting his precious alcohol. It spills everywhere.
He gets his wine everywhere. But, I mean, realistically, Bacchus's ultimate, a really good contender for best spell in the game.
Yes.
8 seconds of soft CC.
Huge damage.
Huge burst damage.
That's right.
Before Geb, this was the best ultimate of the game, for sure.
Yep.
There's no question. You can maybe make the case that Geb's ultimate is as good or maybe more substantial in a team fight. But the main point about Bacchus, and watch for this in these team fights, when he throws out Intoxicate, look how many players beads it away.
Yep.
It's generally almost none, if none at all. And it's really curious because it's so effective at making you miss basics and slows you for so long. People don't like to purge it because it's not hard CC or even really soft CC. It's just kind of, your screen's wobbly.
Yep. And, well, it's also you can't back, right? It's forcing you to move. So there's a lot of inclinations towards combos, right? I mean, you can't actually back because it'll force you to move. You can't actually go ahead and get away from taunts like Athena. You can't stop yourself from moving from the Xbalanque ultimate, which is one of the best combos we've seen so far in Smite. Bacchus ult, Xbalanque ult, and you're just guaranteed to be stunned in AoE with no real afterthought from the enemy team. So good combo there. It's awesome. Right side, we see Coast pushing up pretty heavily on this tower. Sayo is now doing the best he can to defend this, but I like the fact that Bobat is spending a lot of time on this Mercury solo, because what can he do to stop them?
Big weakness of Mercury.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that like super safe clear until he finishes off probably his golden bow and has max rank on his Made You Look, and you really would need to expend probably a dash back through the wave as well to clear it against an aggressive two-man push like this, especially with Aphrodite with all that sustain. Now, the only good news for him is it's not a Ra that's also healing the minions, but Ninja Bobat's going to be very, very resilient here as the birds come in, and they just continue to pile in-hand damage onto this tower on the right side.
Right side being pushed up here. Mid lane, might see again coming out. Corneo is towards the mid camp. Man, that tower's taking so much damage. Incredible amount of push here.
I love this play. We haven't seen this. We haven't seen players go, look, they're playing goddamn Mercury in the solo lane. Let's just push him right through him.
Yep. And, you know, not only does he not do enough push, he's also not very good at getting people off of him when they really want to kill him. I mean, he can dash away and pop his ultimate, but, you know, if you're doing that, you're just going to lose your tower, right? I mean, if you have something to defend, Mercury's great at escaping if he has nothing to worry about, but he's got to worry about that. They're going to steal another movement speed buff here. I love the commitment from Coast. Coast is looking so sharp today.
Yeah, they really are. Smart plays, a lot of smart plays. 2 orange buffs stolen, plus this pressure on the Mercury in the solo. If they can get this tower before he hits maybe level 9 to 11, where his clear starts getting out of control, they should be fine.
Should be. Living that dream right now. Fexa is holding on to his gold. Mid-camp left side wheel go the way of Coast. We got Sayo hold on to his tower ever so desperately. And look at the numbers right now. You can see 1,300 gold in favor of Coast. I got about 1,800 experience as well, and nothing really has been lost yet. I mean, this is just pure, raw, unadulterated lead.
That's right, and a lot of that lead is sitting on the back of iRaffer here. Or, I'm sorry, a lot of the deficit. iRaffer having a hard time getting involved. 3,900 gold farm. Pen boots done.
Well, he doesn't have a movement speed buff.
But Ninja Bobat, that's right. The continual Ninja movement speed buff stealing is putting Ninja Bobat ahead by nearly 700 gold, about 650 gold. He's already finished off his pen boots and is moving into crit. And that 670 gold early crit item onto Cirquet, just this hidden dagger putting out its measly 5% crit chance, still makes her damage potential go through the roof.
Right side sound defending this tower the best he possibly can. It's getting low. It looks like they're finally giving him a little bit of repose here just to be able to kind of control the lane and maybe even get some damage on the tower. But Variety is returning, and so is the Bobots playing that Cirquet here. And, of course, he's going to be going for that Sir Crit build. He's going to look like he's already got his dagger picked up here. The hidden dagger going to go into that short sword shortly. And looking like they might take this tower. This looks like free for them. They're going to pop it up, tank it up with Aphrodite. Gets the heal off, a few shots. The tower should be falling shortly. What do you do?
I just want to say that I just watched Fexes dodge all 4 of Krynya's wing gusts after he was silenced on Giannis.
What a champion.
That's some serious, serious play.
Champion.
That's the play of a champion.
That's right. Right from the right side, going to go and defend Sayo's ever so delicate tower. This is just going to be a light breeze rolling through. Is going to kill that tower off. Mid lane, good stun on Fexes. Silence comes out. Wing gust, good portal to avoid the duration. The wing gust actually only avoids 1 hit from it. 3 of them ended up hitting there. Corneo dodging the hit. Bobat's coming in here, needs to hit the good portal ultimate, priming that up and knowing the damage was coming. And then here's the thing, right? That was not a Cirquet is coming. That was left lane saying, hey, Geb is coming. And so I'm going to ult out. And then Cirquet got there and he's like, oh, hey, I kind of avoided that too.
Left side lane. Shagishin could be in a bit of trouble here. He ulted to try to make his way over, but had to go back in. He has used everything. Here comes Geb. 2-man stun, but he misses the knockup. A rare misplay by Princess Tomato there. Ninja Bobat is here, and they're going to go in on a Moex. This should be a dead Moex just as the ultimate comes out from Cirquet. He will take down to the poison, and boom goes the dynamite.
There goes the dynamite right there. Raph are going to look for the kill here on Corneo. Corneo's got nowhere to go. Bobat's dropping low as well. Up in the air goes 1, 2, 3, 4 shot. Looking for the 4th one there on Bobat. Not going to find it. Now Prince Tito backing away here. Good jump from Ninja Bobat. They're going to disengage entirely there. Moex just ran up. I mean, here's the thing, right? Your only chance is run to the tower. Like, you know, you're going to take a lot of damage along the way, but if you run up, you're guaranteeing your own death. So you may as well either fight and do some damage before you die, or beeline to the tower, and he did neither.
Wow, Bobat stays in there, and him and Shaggy Shank combine to pick up a kill on Nexus as Frezzy and Raffer start kind of messing around with the Gold Fury, trying to put some pressure onto Coast, but Coast not having any of it. Somehow, however, Sayo has managed to hold on to his tier 1 on the right side with 1 hit remaining, and certainly soon to fall here in favor of Variety, who has won this lane, although I'm not sure that it's outright. 1 death out on to Sayo, but he does have his golden bow and boots in a pretty reasonable timing, around 10 minutes, and he'll be able to finish off those boots in about the next 2 minutes.
Corneo going for that Book of Thoth. I love that item so very much. I've been loving it ever since it was created in the very early days of the Smites. And it's kind of been going in and out of the competitive scene as far as how it gets utilized. It was not picked up at all for a long time. More recently, it's been picked up a lot, and kind of, as we're seeing now, not picked up as much either. So, you know, kind of going back and forth. But I think it's a smart call for Ice's play like Corneo to pick this up now, just because he's got the lead in the lane, he's got the gold going, he's going to start stacking it up here. And I think the way that they're going to line up for Coast, he can do well with more damage than HP. Warlock Sash may not be necessary here, considering the fact that he's going to be healed by Aphrodite, he's going to be shielded by Geb, he's going to be outside the Ice's ultimate himself, and he's got a silence and a stun. So, you know, he's just looking for raw damage.
Right side lane, they're going to try to pile into this tower here, but the rotations are coming out big time for Mortality. Here comes Fexes and Frezzy. Variety now the one in some trouble. Ultimate's going to come out. It is going to avoid the Bacchus ultimate, and Variety on a full-on retreat. Bobat trying to stay in, wants to do the damage to Raffer. Dashing through now is Sayo. Bobat will kill Raffer, but will Variety fall to Sayo? He will indeed. Bobat going to try to follow this up, and no more rotations coming out as the Gold Fury is going down on the left side in favor of Coast, and now they're going to go in on the Moex getting knocked up, and down will go Moex as well. So ultimately that fight does go in favor of Coast pretty heavily. It's a 2-for-1 trade in addition to the Gold Fury, and they give up their solo laner for the jungler and hunter of Mortality Esports.
Again, we see another situation where a team does not focus the same target or try to split properly, and they don't win because of it. We saw the right side, 2 players were on top of Variety, 2 players were on Bobat. Bobat gets a kill and makes that a 1-for-1. I mean, how does it ever turn to the point where you're 4 versus 2ing a gank where they're out of position and it becomes a 1-for-1 trade? That is not a good situation for Mortality to be in. Coast getting a big win there on the right side. With Sayo going home, I imagine Bobat would have clearly. Oh no, Sayo going for the kill! Dashing away is Bobat, and Demaja look did not make Ninja Bobat look other than anything else but his HP bar, and now he's going to be heading home here. Sayo looking for the Demaja look possibly.
He just wants it so bad.
Oh man.
He's like baiting himself here. He's like, well, if I just dash forward and use Major Look, I can maybe get the kill. And I think he wanted to dive the tower there, but
he did.
Somehow talked himself out of it. And well, Sayo eventually has to go back to base, and hopefully Variety will just walk up to his tower and throw out an in-hand to take that away.
Well, looks like it's working so far. Left side Moex is going to clear out the wave. He's almost got his boots. In fact, yep, he's about 700 gold away from his boots himself. Actually, sorry, about 600 gold away from his boots. Right side, Sayo going to find Variety come back into the wave, but there's not a whole lot that they can do. Variety about to finish off his Warlock Sash. He's got the CDR. There's the Major Look to clear out the wave, looking for some punches, but he's already at half HP just because delicate little doves came and floated at him.
Yeah, they floated him nearly to death there.
Yep.
Variety clears the wave once again. Variety, go! Go kill the tower. One in
left side, Moex getting jumped on here, wiggling like a champion. Now the rotation coming out. There's the ultimate coming out from the Giannis, jumping on top. Fran from behind. Raffer wants to kill off Shaggy Shank. The dash should be enough. There goes Fexes jumping in the fight, going to find the kill on Shaggy Shank. The silence coming on Corneo, forcing away Princess Tomato as well. Bobat is in the jungle lurking, waiting for initiation opportunity, but it's not going to present itself as they all back off.
Yeah, it looks like Mortality's starting to learn their lesson about overextending in this left side lane. The rotations have been very on time for Coast. A nice timing by Giannis there to get over there and secure that kill onto Shaggy Shank. An important kill for them, considering Moex did take a spell a bit earlier.
Well, the earlier spell right side. Sayo's going to try to clear out this tower. Looks like he's going to be able to get it soonish. Variety routine over defending the best he can with that right side tower down for Sayo. He's just working very heavily to try to get it down and open up that right side of the map, especially around the Fire Giant area and around the buffs to be stolen. Vision right now looks like it's very much in favor of Coast. 4 wards on the ground, although one of the wards that they have on the side of Mortality is going to be a Sentry ward. Almost catching out Bobat there is going to be Frezzy, forcing out the dash, preventing him from getting in on the fight. We're going to see Corneo go back to mid lane because there's one out, but so far only 1 tower down. The gold is going to go in favor of Coast by 3,000 and 3,500 experience to boot, and things are looking to be a little bit in favor of Coast.
Yeah, well, I would say a little bit more than a little bit in favor of Coast here. They have a pretty good lead on this game. They've won the solo lane fairly well. Mercury is doing a nice job, though. Sayo will get his farm and probably find several kills throughout the remainder of this game, just given the nature of Mercury. Freya does have the Fatalis finished and online Book of Top done for Fexus, so they got their items together. But as we mentioned in the early stages of the game, will it be enough burst to deal with the sustain of Coast? Coast has the Book of Thoth finish on Carino, so his damage is going to be no slouch. Bobat has the Rage Blade into second Hidden Dagger finish, working likely towards that Deathbringer Warlock Sash completed here in a Variety as well. So they're starting to really tank up. Variety is building towards that frontline style battery Aphrodite, where he is going to be building into what appears to be probably a breastplate of Valor on top of this Warlock Sash, overcapping his CDR, or sorry, getting right at his CDR cap, and really getting Rip Rear to go to be the front liner for his team. We'll see as Coast is probably looking to 5-man here in the next 4 to 5 minutes to start taking objectives away from Mortality Esports.
Well, they need to, right? Because the late game for Mortality is devastating, and the later it goes, the more damage Mortality is able to do. It doesn't matter how much of a teamfight team you have if you never get a chance to, avoid the one-shot burst that they have available on Mortality. Goldfear's going to be responding here in just about a minute and 45 seconds or so, maybe a little less now. Yeah, so about a minute 20 seconds or so. Even closer. Let me fix my face. About 40 seconds from now, the Goldfear will be back up, as that indicator does actually show the range there. Through the jungle, we see a lot of wards being placed down by both teams. Finally, we're going to see more wards from Mortality. Surcat over the wall, going to find a Giannis, who portals away very promptly. We'll see Buff about to respawn here, although it is warded by... Look how many wards they have. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, the warding is very, very heavy on the left side of the map around this Goldfear respawn. Looks like that's where the teams are going to want to fight.
Squash.
He'll be coming up in the next 10 seconds now, and this is definitely where it's going to be breaking out, as Coast has superior positioning with Ninja Bobat already here.
Hold on to it. 16 minutes in the match, 5-3, only a 2-kill differential, but the gold is definitely a very big thing for Coast. Damage buff is up here on the right side of the map for Mortality. Going to pick it up and headed over to Fexes, so he can do multiple damages with that unstable Vortex here. Variety's going to be going for a Breastplate of Valor after his Shoes of Magi. A little bit over the cap for CDR, but definitely maxing that out very promptly. Does have the Warlock Sash as well. He's going to be a very difficult target takedown. Plus, you look across the way, and you've got an Artemis and a Mercury. Getting out physical protection is pretty good.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's going to help out a lot, is staying in the front line, but... they have ignored Sayo. A lot of space left for the Mercury to farm up here. Short Sword done. Tier 1 done. Farming, well, proxy farming almost behind that Tier 1 tower with the Major Look, and it's been pretty effective. Carino going to take some burst now, but Fexus is going to get bursted down by Ninja Bobat. Will they have enough damage for the ultimate to proc? They will indeed, and that's going to go on to Sayo. Did he get hit by the poison? He did not. He somehow made it away, but Princess Tomato somehow coming away with that kill against the enemy mid laner of Giannis.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Ice's damage reduction with the ultimate, Geb's shield on top, plus the heal from Aphrodite, and all of a sudden Corio, who just jumped on him, they can't kill him. It's too much defense there, plus the long-range stun, forcing away Sayo. I mean, all those abilities at once. Oh, Bobat wants to kill in the mid lane here, looking for Sayo. Can't find it, dashing away from that one, but doing a lot of damage. It's hard to keep track of
some time here, though. I mean, they could have taken this Gold Fury a little bit earlier than this, but now considering that they may have to bail out their jungler, sticking around a bit longer than normal is Coast. Fexes 15 seconds until he's back, but Frezzy's still there with the knockup if needed. They're going to try to burst down Frezzy, but the Freya banish is very timely, keeping Carino's damage from piling up too high. And now the Gold Fury has been started by Coast. Can they keep this Bacchus out of the fight? The knockup is just so strong, and it's such a strong deterrent to them staying in there. Falling back now is Coast.
Gold Fury not be grabbed up there. Wasted a little bit of a time as they try to get over there and get the Gold Fury. The blue buff is going to be respawning left side here. But again, I mean, it's the same thing we saw last game, right? TSM very, very hesitant to pick up the Gold Fury and risk stealing it, having it stolen away and then falling behind on the team fight. I mean, it seems like teams are just getting more and more uncomfortable with the fact that they are exposed on an objective and have the chance for the other team to counter-initiate on top of them. So that's the hardest part, right? They do not want to expose themselves in that way. Blue buff is there on the left side. They're going to be stolen away by Ghost. Oh, poor Moax. He sees it on the ground, but he can't has it. He cannot has it. The Gold Fury is still standing here for both teams who didn't want to pick it up at 18.5 minutes in the game, 6-3. We've got, again, the same exactly we had before, 2,700 gold and 3,000 experience. The game is pretty much on freeze until one of these teams wants to get a little bit risque.
And Sayo playing his standard style of Mercury here, just never leaving the solo lane. He just continually pushes up. He did this the last game he played Mercury as well, and I can just hear him saying it too. He's like, yeah, it's really easy. I just sit there and I just push the lane over and over and over again.
Yeah, then
that's all I do.
Get a win.
That's all I do, and then
someone comes by and I punch him in the face.
And then I make the win.
Touch my mustache and everything's good.
But I mean, that is, you know, kind of, Sayo is the kind of player that he'll be like, okay, look, I can do this thing, and it's really effective. And then he's perfectly happy to do it for 35 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember even back in the day when he was running mid lane, he would go, I'm going to take Vampiric Shroud, Death's Toll, and Hog and play Hell, and I'm just going to farm for 25 minutes.
Well, he did it before. I mean, even more recently, towards the last 6 months or so, playing Isis. That's all he did on Isis. I mean, there's certain characters he liked to roam with, but Isis wasn't one of them. If he played Isis, Sayo would just sit in the lane, farm, and at 30 minutes, when all the towers were dead and there was objectives to take, he's like, oh, I have 5 items. Let me kill everyone.
Right, yeah. I mean, he's just always been that type of player that he finds a thing that he can do that's going to be safe and going to be effective and efficient, and just does it over and over and over again. Other players look to make plays and kind of make themselves snowball through individual effort. Sayo does it, I feel like, through just general good game sense. Just, I can get away with this, so I'm gonna.
Yep. I mean, that's kind of how it works until someone finds a way to stop it, and that's where counters come about. Cornio has finished his Ratatouille as we look at it. So he's got a buck, he's got shoes, and he's got a rod. He's ready to have a nice day out trekking across the trails in the jungle as he's got something to do for himself. The Gold 3 has spawned up here as Coast is grouping up. We've got Aphrodite and the boat. After riding through on the boat there, the Gold 3 is going to be started, actually. There's the back off as they're backing away. They don't have vision. Frez is going to find it, though. They need to get there in time if they want to get a Gold 3. This could be stolen away. Getting lower. It's getting lower. Here comes Raffer. We should.
Yeah, they're gonna go and reset it just in case it didn't respond to it.
Well, it's so easy to belly flop Hog.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's an AoE knockup that covers tremendous amounts of distance. But once again, they're going, and this time Box is defending the left side tower. He's not going to be able to make it in time. It's going to be up to the Banish and Portal from, well, it doesn't matter because it just goes down before the initiation.
So I better get this tower.
And Sayo,
you better get this tower if they're going to lose the Gold Fury because it looks like they're going to.
Nah, they can't stop him at this point.
No one can get over there in time. Bacchus left the lane. I don't know why Bacchus would give up on the Gold Fury for a wave of minions. Oh, Raffer forced away into the jungle there as jump over the wall is the boat. Oh, ultimate coming out from Fex says not going to find anyone. Actually avoiding everyone with that Civil Vortex as well. This mid tower seems to be fresh meat for Coast as they go right in and try to take it down. Here is going to drop very, very low. Bacchus still eventually got great silence by Cornio.
Yeah, Frezzy wanted to get in there and do some damage. Bobat thinks better of it. The silence coming out, he puts out some damage to boot on top of the Bacchus. Fexes and Frezzy both recalling here in the mid lane. Just Freya available to defend. They're going to concede this tier 1 and even more gold going the way of Coast. This is going to put them up to about 2,700 gold going their way.
Their way. Or the left lane as they jump over to the hit. Good ultimate over there from Mobak's going to CC immunity as Prison's going to try to get the initiation. Here comes Bobat, though. Do they want to die at this tower is a question. They see Sayo in the mid lane. Sayo's going to get another tower. Sayo is just, is he playing an RPG? It's like Dragon Age.
He's just grinding, man. He's just farming up.
Yeah.
Getting his items. And now he's going to take the mid tower. I mean, it's an effective strategy. Split push Mercury. It's basically uncounterable if you have your ultimate available.
It's like, man, this RPG is a terrible story. No one's coming to fight me. Gonna clear it out. Bobat's gonna find Sayo in the jungle, stealing his stuff. The damage from Sayo is huge, but so is the damage from Bobat. It's a big burst battle from 2 assassins. Look for the ultimate, not gonna find it. Around the wall he goes. Gab's shield coming out. Sayo is going into the right lane.
He did this yesterday too.
What is he doing? Why are you doing this?
He did this yesterday too. Remember, he ulted across from mid lane to the right side lane instead of going up to mid lane.
Oh, the crit! Get the kill, but he's going to die himself. The silence, the portal came out trying to assist, but of course he couldn't find it in time. But
that 50%
Bobat, man.
chance to crit coming through.
Oh, Bobat.
Hey, more room made for Mortality as well as Moex will take a tier 1 on the left.
That's all they're going to do. We're going to go to one side of the map and die and give you gold, and while we take gold from another side of the map. That is the strategy for Mortality right now, and that seems to be working. But the second level 20 in the game is going to be on the side of Mortality. Both Sayo and Fex is at level 20, and no one on the side of Coast has done it. So it seems like, again, I mean, they have a good late game lineup. They have the control, so they're just trying to buy time, make Coast run around the map a bunch so that they can actually get enough gold to get to the point where, you know, if Bobat jumps on Sayo, for example, he gets bursted.
Yeah, I mean, like, how many times do you think Bobat said easy or no skill after that last engagement? I would say the over-under is 3 times in the sentence that came immediately after dying to Sayo there.
Oh man, that damage is insane. It's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse as things progress forward. Once Sile finishes that Deathbringer, things are going to change very drastically. But across the way, Bobat's got that Sir Crit going. He's got the Rage, he's got the Deathbringer, he's got the Warrior Tubby for penetration and greater purification as well. The Fire Giant is available, but looks like Frezzy's in the area. Going to squash that ward pretty quickly, but not going to do enough damage with the Belly Flop. Unfortunately enough, you are a Guardian. You cannot one-shot wards, my friend, even if your belly is giant. Shaggy Shake left side going to do a 1v1 versus Moex here. Trading blows, steps on a trap. He backpedals into a trap here. He's trying to get away. Can he actually get the distance? The question. He's got that movement speed buff from the dash. Moex wants it, needs a volley, needs the hit, needs a shit.
Oh,
kill steal! Wow!
Wow, they crossed him as kill steal, but Moex might have died there as Audacity was activated. That could have actually bailed out. Wow, what a shot by Fexes.
Does he have a scope?
Is real. Right side, though, before we go more on to Fexes' brilliant play there, let's talk about the Fire Giant's been started. Coast seems kind of a little bit of trepidation here about if they really want to go in. Here comes Sayo, damage coming out, a lot of crits, and they're stacked up. The AoE damage is going to be real. Bobat to go down, but the poison has been spread. Frezzy poison as well, but Sayo coming dashing back through now. A double kill for the solo laner. Gonna wrap up Princess Tomato. A few more crits coming through. Triple kill for Sayo. Carino to fall as well. A diddly side going the way of Mortality. Coast is all the way down. Pink's coming out on the mid tower and the right side Phoenix. Mortality is gonna look for the brutal and vicious last final kind of garrote here into the remaining blood pool of Coast.
What are they doing?
Well, they're showing us.
Can we play some Benny Hill music or something? Because they didn't go for the right side of the Phoenix, the mid tower using a fall here. They're just running around in circles and then just look for the mid Phoenix. But now they're finally grouping up, looking at the Phoenix. Thank you for the assist on that one.
I know production's slacking.
Banished on the top. There goes the portal and on top of the ground. Get the belly flop as soon as he lands, and the hit goes down. Deicide again for Mortality. Technically, it was just a single kill, but I'm gonna count it. That was 6 kills.
6 kills for Sayo?
6 kills.
Good thing I have him on my fantasy team.
Hey! Ho! Hey. Let's go. On the right side, they're going to push up towards the Gold Fury. If they knew the Gold Fury timing, they would know that they could take it right now.
Yeah. It doesn't look like they have a good handle on it, or they think they could just go back and then still contest it. Notably, the Hunter for Coast not alive. Shaggy Shank falling at the end of that last fight, so their clear time will be a bit lower. However, they do have plenty of crit on the Bobat with the Deathbringer and Rage Blade completed.
Rage Blade completed. Fexes coming out here, popping the ultimate. He thought they were doing the Gold Fury, and they certainly weren't.
That ultimate just hit Princess Tomato for like 580 damage.
Fexes has a scope on his abilities. I swear to God, he's lining that up. He's got like wind direction, wind speed, lining it up. Gets it locked in and gets the damage out. I mean, it's looking so sharp here so far. Corneo looks like he's going for what I imagine is going to be a Gem of Isolation. That has to be anything but a Warlock Sash. There's no way that Corneo is going to buy a Warlock Sash at 26 minutes with 1 tower remaining.
Why not?
It's Gem of Isolation. It has to be for the slow.
We've said this every day.
I don't believe it, Bart!
And it's always the damn Warlock Sash.
How do you build 100 stacks? Speaking of it, Princess Tomato going in there. There goes the ball coming out from Corneo. Damage coming out on top. Looking for Frezzy. There's the boar on top. Isol's been doing huge damage there. Bobat dropping low. Looking for the kill. Up there goes Apollo. Shaggy Shake landing in on top. Huge jump from Bobat. No death so far. Gonna find variety. Now here comes Corneo. Backpedal away into the portal. He goes. There's the threshold. There's the volley. There's the unstable vortex vaporizing Corneo. Sile's gonna go down to his greed. Still got the tower. But Fexes gets the hit with the altar. Okay.
Oh, Bobat, just take a seat to Fexes.
Are aimbots legal?
Technically, no. That's of course it won't be a Warlock Sash, right? It's going to be a an Ethereal Staff. That's the item that players usually itemize into this late in the game. No facetiousness there. But Final Phoenix is being assaulted now. Princess Tomato Shaggy Shake here to defend. Fexes with the snipe at the end of that last fight, and Sayo with the bizarre play dying next to the Chaos Titan there. It seems like his first reaction, if he gets into a teamfight and starts going bad, is to run at the enemy base.
Yeah. That's it. He just gets frightened and runs towards the danger. Hopefully that just works out. So he's going to end up dying there. But, of course, he did force them back enough for Fexes to just hit him with his laser beam and just end the fight at that point. They have 2 Phoenixes down here. The Fire Giant is going to be coming up in just about 1 minute and 30 seconds or so. The Gold Fury is down for the count for quite some time. So now we're going to wait for that. But here's the thing, right? I mean, you look across the way. Sio's about to finish off his Titan's Bane. You got Moex about to finish off his chins. We've got hi-rez going on to pick up the restored artifact and looking to pick up that rod of Tutti, I would imagine. And now we've got Fexes about to finish off his rod. Oh man, the damage is getting worse and worse.
Oh, and I mean, look at these graphs here, man. It's a 10,000 gold swing. You know, it was once a 5,000 gold lead for Coast. I'm sorry. Now a 6,000 gold lead for Mortality over about the last, let's say, 8 minutes now, and that's been really a lot of it on the back of this Sio split push. I think has put the team a little bit on tilt here for Coast. Not really sure exactly how they can deal with it. Very frustrating, and as well as getting hit by those long-range Fexes snipes. Just, well, Morality and team moral killers.
Well, it's dropping low now. They definitely have a chance to come back into this, but look at the numbers. I mean, they're only 6,000 gold behind, right? They're only 10,000 experience behind. The experience is probably more valuable here just because you don't have all level 20s in the game. I mean, look across the way. Frez is 16, but Bobat is still level 18. That's pretty much the only point where it matters right now is Bobat does not have level 20 just yet, so we didn't get that extra little bit of damage, extra little bit of HP, and of course, maxing out his last 2 abilities, including his ultimate. So you want that last breath of ultimate to hit really, really hard. Firejet is about to respawn here, and everyone is ready to go on the side of Mortality. Coast is scrambling to get in position in time. Can they start it up? Good portal to block him out, and a banish on top just to make cool colorly effects appear on the screen and make a nice fireworks show for the fans watching today. The Fire Giant's about to start it up here, though.
Here he is. Moex going to throw in the first pot shots, but going to go ahead and disengage. Not wanting to stay in there too long. Iraffer going to dodge out a Carino shot there. Bobat's going to have his Magi's Blessing pop by Frezzy. Next time he shows his face, he may get jumped on.
Yeah, let's see if they can actually get this Fire Giant before Coach decides they're going to do anything about it. We've got them pushing up on top of this, and now they're going to be jumping in, ready, close. Fire Giant started up. Oh, Sile's in the mid lane, coming through. Right side, we see Bobat looking to jump in here. It's a very delicate situation. There are 3 traps in the... This is a Velcro pad. It's like a bug trap.
Yeah, how's Geb going to roll out of that?
Well, you know, he's just going to roll right through it and just pop every single one of them because that's what he just what he does.
Oh, Raffer does get stunned, and in comes Princess Tomato looking for the ultimate, but it's going to hit right into a trap there. Poor guy.
Well, traps on the ground. Ultimate from, actually going to hit no one there. Coming out from Fex, it's not going to land. The bull right in the face of Shaggy Shank. Princess Tomato going to drop in the backside. Raffer doing too much damage. There's the hit from Cirquette, though. Frezzy going to just go through a portal, still alive. Going through the portals, dies to the points in mid-transit. Dematerializing on the way. It's going to be a support for support kill, and now no one can take the Fire Giant.
No Fire Giant for anybody. Yeah, with both supports down, it's just too dangerous. Well, I mean, I think favor to Mortality in that situation because of the burst damage from Fexes. In a world without hogs, the man with the burst reigns supreme.
Well, we'll see what they can do. I mean, there's no secure here.
Look at the Titan, 50% HP.
Yep. Well, now we see Shaggy Shank forced to go over there and defend. He does have an ultimate available. It does take time to fly, though. Bobat on top of the... Why? Whoa! Ghost gets the Fire Giant from over the wall with the hit from Cirquette as well as the damage from Cornio. They're gonna get it. Raffer gets the kill on Bobat. They're trying to disengage here. Oh, that's gonna hit too. Gonna find Cornio here. Looking for the grab. They need a special limit. The punches are too real. Needs a major look. Gonna make him look and make him look into the deepness of Anubis' eyes. Into the grave he goes. Looking for Variety. Variety gonna go down as well. Shaggy Shank is defending this the best he can. We do have a Princess Tomato back up and ready to go here. But they stole the Fire Giant from over the wall.
Here we go. Mortality going to try to break the base. Now Princess Tomato and Shaggy Shank. We've seen this before with just the 2 of them available to defend.
Yeah, well, they're pushing up here. There's only 2 left. The left Phoenix is back up, though. Fex is going to go to the mid lane, trying to split push this up. Looks like they go all the way to the left to split push him. I mean, if you only have 2 people alive, just force them to be in multiple places at once, and you'll guarantee to get at least 1 or 2 Phoenixes, regardless. Princess Tomato initiation on Mox. Trying to find the hit here. Mox going to go down to the damage from Shaggy Shank.
No.
Another rotation coming out. Here comes the Unstable Vortex. The ultimate comes out as well. Fex hits another one, and there's the damage. Princess Tomato going down to the damage from Iraffer. Mid Phoenix is out, and they have a lethal. They're going to go for it. It looks like your winners today, ladies and gentlemen, as Bobat jumps in fruitlessly, trying to stop the momentum. Is going to be Mortality 19-10 with Coast leading the game literally almost the entire time. Mortality turns it back around and ends it out.
Sio split push there, just too effective.
That'll do it. Well,
yeah.
Sio is the man, and Sio is showing that today. I mean, you see the amount of damage he's got, 7, 3, and 7. His total damage dealt, of course, as we do bring it up now, is going to be 20,000, actually. He did the most damage in the game across the board on that Mercury, so let's check him out.
Yeah, this is going to be the Fire Giant engage. He's actually going to find a triple on the back of this fight, and just tossing out major looks here and there, just trying to, you know, poke away at the team, and then once he does commit to this fight, it is ugly, and it goes very heavily in his favor. Here he comes in and just watches as the punches unfold.
Watch the ult.
And the havoc. Here comes the ultimate through. It's going to be nicely placed, getting some very, very nice CC, and bursting down Variety, probably most important of all.
Yeah, Variety going down this big, to swing his little fists and take out Tomato. Now we're going to find a lot of kills on Corino, but that's exactly what we called, right? We called the fact that Coast is going to have a strong team fight. They're going to have a lot of tools at their disposal to stop Mortality from doing what they wanted to do, and that's exactly what happened. Coast was winning the entire time until it got to late game, and all of a sudden you've got Mercury, Freya, Artemis, Giannis, and if you make one wrong step, your HP bar is just going to go like that and get vaporized. But that's the conclusion of this match, guys. Mortality will take the victory for today, and we are done for the EU flavor of things, as we're just going with the same idea here. And of course, that's going to be it, but we're not done for today. Coming up next is going to be Cognitive Red versus Cognitive Prime, a rehashing of the first matchup at NA Pro League Kickoff LAN, and we did see some blood between them, as of course Cognitive Prime went to the NA Pro League Kickoff LAN saying Cog Red can't beat us.
Game. Yeah, Cog Prime definitely with a chip on their shoulder. Go up against their sister team. It's a team kill coming up next, guys. Don't go anywhere. This game starts at the top of the next hour, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Cog Red versus Cog Prime. For Jyber, I'm hi-rez, and we'll see you soon.